Name is Josie, and if you're new to 50 Essentials, welcome. You are waking up with me. We are waking up right now, okay? We got snacks, we got coffee. We gonna take our time today because literally, like, I feel the same as you. Everybody got us 100% messed up, okay? Messed up, completely messed up. And my every time I do that, I still feel that freaking soreness in my nose. I'm popping open my computer so I can see y'all comments for whoever does show up, and I'm gonna put on my glasses so I can see. Period. How about that? It's cold today. Yay, right? I don't know if it's yay for everybody, but I'm in Florida, so oh, here we go. Okay, I'm getting to y'all. I gotta mute the computer, turn on my mouse. Mouse ain't even turned on. I almost dropped it. Okay. If you feel like you are just like you don't even know, like you don't, what's the point, right? Oh, y'all, look, I finished it. It's going all the way across now. Anyway, um, yeah, November is not. Yeah, I thought that October was mean. November is not here to play. Not at all. I'm still trying to pop y'all up. I keep forgetting what I'm doing. And that's a thing lately. I keep forgetting what I'm doing because I'm doing too much. Just like most of you out here, you're doing too much. And that's why you're glitchy. Because we're all doing too much. Okay? There we go. Now I can see the chat. My hair look a mess. That's all right. I'm gonna maintenance it today at some point. But I know that I'm not the only one, of course, feeling the normal ascension symptoms, right? The jaw pain is a big thing. People having headaches is a big thing. And then the flu-like symptoms is also a big thing. Different body aches. Like, you might have a pain in your knee, then it'll go away. Then it's a pain somewhere else in your body, and it's just moving around. That, I don't even know if I want to call it an existential crisis. I'd rather call it potent reality. It's not an existential crisis. This is some really potent reality. Everything is in your face. It's not to where you can ignore it anymore. Oh, that's just the way things are. Or, oh, you just got to deal with it. Or this is temporary, or blah, 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 right? No, like everything is really real. Like if you just got here and you're like, why is this like this? Who does this? What is going on? Like if you just walked on the scene, it's that kind of reaction your soul is having. Like, what? No, not today, not ever. Saturn is sitting at 0 degrees of Pisces, turning direct on the 4th. Not pretty right now, not at all. Saturn has been in my first house since about January, and y'all know I'm not on the same zodiac. I'm using sidereal, but Saturn is in my first house, affecting my whole life. So I can feel that movement, that pivot that's about to happen, that coming out of retrograde. It's legit for me. Like, I feel radical. I feel like a very no nonsense feeling. That shut it down. This has to stop feeling. That I don't care about whatever system, whatever rules. No, this is all wrong. And you should stop doing this. It's like when you catch somebody about to drink bleach, but they lost their smell, so they don't know that they're about to drink bleach, and you stop them like, yo, what you doing? No, stop. Literally, I feel that sense of urgency with everything that is hurting us, that we've been ignoring for so long. Now I'm like, hold up. We knew it wasn't right, but we were okay with it. And we kept participating. And now it's like, nah. No. There's this huge no. Wow. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. None of us can, Diana. And what's so funny is that we keep saying we can't, right? We keep saying we can't, but we still participating. I think that's what Saturn is trying to gut check us on. Solar plexus energy, right? It's like, if you complaining about something, a bad job, a bad marriage, and this is people, that's literally part of your personality now, because what else you're gonna do? So you wonder why people don't come around you or don't really want to do certain things with you, because they don't want to hear you complaining about the job that you won't leave, the marriages that you won't leave. Well, now the whole collective is having that mirror moment where you are actually tired of yourself. How you gonna keep complaining about something that you're still participating in? Let's make the math make sense. This is what Saturn is doing. Like, yo, what you gonna do about it? But what you gonna do about it? You would get pissed off if you went to a friend complaining about your job or your marriage, and they was like, yeah, but what you gonna do about it? And they never said nothing else. They just repeatedly said, yeah, but what you gonna do about it? You know, it's like, shut up and like it, or change something. That part. I always tell people Saturn doesn't take failure as an option. It's just a no. You're just going to keep having the lessons until you master. Nothing makes sense to me anymore, y'all. Because even saying the word lessons does not feel good. It don't feel good. Oh, you break up. Oh, that was a lesson. Oh, you didn't get an opportunity. Oh, that was a lesson. This was a lesson. That was a lesson. We were literally just using that term to make ourselves feel better about how we felt, because we took some shit personal that didn't have nothing to do with us. I'm sitting here like, we don't have to have lessons. You can simply experience life. Is it a whole ass lesson? Like, seriously, is it a whole ass lesson in the way that you think of lessons? Like when you went to school, you get information and then you show how much you retained, right? Is that really happening when you accidentally leave your front door unlocked because you're rushing? Are you digesting a whole bunch of information and then regurgitating it? No. They're not lessons. It's awareness. You get down the street and you're like, did I lock the door? Did I not lock the door? Should I go back and check it? Nah, that's too much. Because you're in an emotional state of fight or flight. You get to this point to where you're dropping balls because you could care less, because you chose to do things that drain your damn energy over the things that would give you life, because you have to, because you got to feed people, you got to feed yourself, you got to this, you got to that. You have to. Again, that doesn't feel right. We don't have any responsibility to anybody but ourselves as individuals, because I promise you, you've got to understand this. When you take care of yourself, everybody else is just automatically taken care of. You're naturally giving, you're naturally, walking in gratitude, you're naturally loving, and it's a mood. It's not a action, it's not a thought process. It just happens. Hey baby, come here, let me feed you. Sit down, let's talk. I'm just having a great day. I baked a whole ass pie for no reason. It was just great. I baked the pie because I wanted to smell it. So I chose to do that instead of burning a candle. Like, you get in those moods, and that's how I feel like it should be. But you know what? Seriously, and I just got off the phone with my mom, and that notion that we have, thinking that we're waiting on other people, or we need to band together, and we need all of this stuff, all of these webs and in these links and all this and that, right? All the stuff keeping you constricted, thinking that you're so focused on the collective, when stuff is not really happening from the outside in, it's happening from the inside out. You got to focus on you. And as enough of us focus on our individual selves, that's what's going to create the most powerful chain reaction. You don't, when you decide that you're going to call your friends up and you want to get together for lunch or whatever, right? It's not because you feel like you have to. It's not because you feel like you have a responsibility. It was a mood. You felt it. You didn't think about it. Oh, let me call so-and-so, see what she's doing so we could go eat. You were hungry. Number one, it was about you. You was hungry. And then you probably wanted to go eat your favorite food, and your friend, you felt like you wanted to compound on that experience by bringing your friend who also likes the same thing, and just this whole thing, you're building on it, you're creating. It's not the same thought process of, I'm hungry, but let me call so and so because they'll be pissed off if I don't tell them I'm going to eat. Then it's no longer about you. You see the way it's so bad. The way we are, and the way we be thinking and functioning is so horrible. It's so constricted. We just be tying ourselves up over and over again. Mm-hmm. You gotta not care. And I get it now. You gotta not care from your brain. You gotta stop letting your brain care. Because everybody's gonna naturally be taken care of when you start to allow what you're feeling and follow that and create from that, and expand on that. Do I feel like doing this today? What do I need? What's going on with me right now? How do I feel? What am I aware of? What am I responding to? Right? So here's the deal. I had a dream that I put on the back burner for a little bit. I like to let my dreams sit and marinate. I don't like to receive information and then disseminate it immediately, because sometimes I don't even really fully understand it. I have to feel really good about it before I let it out. And that doesn't mean that I still, like, at even that point, that I fully understand it. I just feel more confident about putting it out, right? And I had a dream that someone came to me and informed me that the thing that the collective is trying to create right now, I'm gonna say it like that, that people are constantly talking about over and over again, the conflict, the third conflict, right? So this person hands me a newspaper and there's this image on it that's mostly like red and black. I couldn't remember the actual image, but it was red and black colors. And the headline was saying, it's official, third conflict, pretty much. And I sat with it. I was like, okay. So now time for the synchronicities, time for me to allow things to unfold to where I understand why that was in my dream. Because it was, it was more literal than normal. It was more in your face, like, literally, we're giving you this newspaper with a headline on it and everything. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, but what does that mean to me? So I have to wait a little while to understand what's being said. And then, of course, I'm running across different people saying different things about the same thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one that got that message. But of course, a lot of times I'm not. We bounce confirmation off of each other. And I said, okay. So this is definitely being created. But again, what does that have to do with me? Because that's the important part. You can hear messages all day, every day, but if you don't question what it has to do with you or what you're supposed to do with it, if you're supposed to do anything with it, right? Then you're definitely going to get wrapped up in the whirlwind. So I decided to tell y'all about that dream today because there's this impending energy that is going to match with what I was just telling you, that is going to be seen and felt in a very real sense, okay? And if you look at my community tab, I shared a post. And I think that was the trigger. That was the moment I said, okay, we need to talk. Because we can't expect everybody to go and do the research or have the resources to go and do their own research, right? As much as we want them to go through ascension like we went through it, and the fact that we were seeking and we were searching and all this and that, doesn't mean that that's how they function. Like for me, I don't read books. It doesn't mean you will never find me reading a book. I just don't read books for enjoyment. I don't read from cover to cover. But when I want to know something and you see me reading a book, I'm not reading it from cover to cover. My source within me is literally taking me to the information. I'm skipping pages, I'm scanning, and I'm only reading what's important. People are different in the way that they disseminate information. Okay? Not everybody can do the research. So this is why some people actually share the links of where they got information from. You can see very clearly that I posted screenshots from the State Department. You can go to their website and see the very same images and words because it's right there. When you touch the images to expand, you'll see in the little browser window the exact address you need to go to, right? But I love travel, right? Now, at first glance, that post that I shared may look like, oh, what does this have to do with me? They're talking about Americans that are traveling. Let me help you with that. They're talking about all of us. We have a big old bullseye on us right now. It's like that game at the carnival where you got to shoot the ducks. Where the ducks, yo. I'm telling you this now, and you're going to see it and understand it over the month of November. We are the ducks, and the hunt is on. Okay? From all angles. 100% ambush. Okay? And what do you do with that? You already got bills, you got kids, you got this, you got that, right? You got ascension symptoms, and then this. What is this, right? How do you feel about that? What does that have to do with me? Ask yourself that. Greetings, love. Welcome. Ask yourself, what is what she is saying right now? What Josie's saying? What does it have to do with me? How do I feel about it? Right? Because everybody has different paths, different expressions, different things that are meant for this specific time. And for some of you, you're not supposed to do a thing about it. It's not supposed to be a thing. It's not a thing. For some of you, you may have to change your travel plans, right? For some of you, you may have to hold space for those that you know can't change their travel plans. For some of you, you may have to witness some things. There's a whole lot going on. Hey, Alexander. So, these messages are not for everybody, as usual, right? But there's still that thing, that everyday thing that you can see, feel, touch, hear, right? Smell, all your five senses, right? There's that thing that's happening. And it's gonna happen. Just let it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thanks, Felicia. Let it all happen. You can stop. You can stop thinking. You can stop doing. You can. It's within you. Because when you're being, you're moving intuitively, and you are literally expressing wisdom in your navigation of the things. When you're being, just be. Just be. And that looks different. Oh, it looks different for everybody. Just being, you know. How do you just be? A lot of it has to do with you just stop thinking and doing. That means you have to not care about certain things. It's tough. Mental and emotional mastery is tough. Choosing what you are focused on is tough. It's not easy, but it can be easy. It can be. The more that you surrender to your whole self, the easier things are when you allow your soul to guide you, all of your aspects to guide you and express through you. That's when the miracles happen. There's no need to be tied up. You got to keep bringing yourself back to, how does this benefit me? How do I feel about it? What does this have to do with me? Let's get rid of the words responsibility. I have to. No, you don't. You don't have to. Okay? And don't get it twisted, because, I'm a mom. I know a lot of moms may be watching me, and you think to yourself, because we like to have those moments, those sassy moments, right? Well, if I don't feel like cooking, then I don't have to, right? How are you going to eat if you don't cook? There's that thinking again. There's that being wrapped up. You don't want to do stuff for people because they don't appreciate it. But at the very root, you're serving yourself as well. You're serving yourself, right? You need to feed yourself. So, is it the fact that people don't appreciate you feeding them that snatches your energy? Or is it the fact that you've misplaced something? Because I know it does something for you to see your kids eating and full and know that they're healthy. I know that that gives you something. Hare Krishna. I know it gives you something. Think about those moments where you want to be sassy about something and you want to just kind of jump to a conclusion or be defiant in a way when you're trying to understand some things, right? Perfect example, real life story. I'm irritated right now because my children act like they don't know how to wash clothes, and I know that I've thoroughly trained them. And now I have to go to the thrift store and get some shirts because I have had to get rid of a few things because my kids have allowed them to sit in the dryer, to mildew, all kinds of craziness. So I'm irritated, okay? Because now I have to be mindful to keep my clothes separated from theirs and wash my own stuff separately, because I think that it's easier to do all the laundry together to make sure that we have big loads and not have to wash as often, okay? In my mind, I made it up that it's easier to do it that way. But maybe I'm not understanding that it's important for me to remove myself from whatever they're trying to understand. Because my involvement is not helping them to understand things. I don't like losing clothes because I don't have very many of them compared to my children. I'm a minimalist. I get rid of a lot of stuff when I'm getting new things. So it's a huge impact on me when I do lose things prematurely compared to them. That's the root of the situation. They can have this thing going on for a little while before it starts to impact them the way that it impacts me because they have more clothes. So then, why am I irritated? You see what I mean? So I'm actually irritated because I just know I don't have the time. And who has it like that to be going out there replacing clothes, and I'm irritated because I see the cycle, and I'm already at the end of the cycle where they're still probably somewhere in the middle, and I see that it's going to keep going because the actions are still happening. So again, I victimized myself by trying to force that situation instead of saying, oh, okay, this is what we're doing now. Mom's washing her own clothes separate from y'all's stuff so that she can retain what she has, because she would prefer to retain what she has more than go out and buy new clothes, because she doesn't feel like it's necessary. It feels constrictive to have to go out and purchase new clothes. I don't like shopping for clothes, y'all. I'm not that kind of woman. That I'm not that one. I'm a camper. But you got to find out what the real problem is, because the real problem, like for me, wasn't the fact that they are not doing things properly and it's causing an issue for everybody. That's not the real problem. The real problem is I don't think it's okay for me to just let them do that and then just go keep buying new clothes. But for somebody else, it wouldn't even be a thing. They wouldn't even notice what's happening. They just keep buying new clothes because that's what they like to do. Going shopping expands them, it lights them up. Do you see what I mean? Oh, I tried the vinegar honey. Look, these some men that I'm raising. They you know what? That's that stank attitude. That's that I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, because you know they ain't been meditating and stuff. Oh, all them little angels, they walking around with stank energy and it's in their clothes. There's a reason why it don't come out even when you try the remedies. I don't want that energy. Oh man. Hey Michelle. I got something going on in my heart chakra right now. It's like my heart is laughing, y'all. It feels so weird. Anyway, I totally talking to y'all. This is what happened with me just now, because earlier I'm mad at you, Sarah. Oh no, it's not fluttering. It literally felt like it was opening, and literally energy was coming out of it, and it was like the vibration of a laugh. I definitely know what fluttering feels like. It was like open, and literally you feel air coming out. But a lot of times I find myself in situations where I immediately drop in frequency, drop in emotion when I see that the boys didn't do something that they were supposed to do, and I start wishing that things were different, or I start thinking to myself that I need to create some kind of separation from me and them, because I either should not have to deal with it or I just don't want to deal with it, right? But I only feel that way when I'm targeting something that's not even the root issue. Seriously. And it's not until you talk to yourself, it's not until you sit down and you take a moment and you really think about it that you make that adjustment emotionally, mentally. I don't like the up and down with the emotions. That one thing, everything's fine, and the next thing, everything's a hot mess. I don't like that back and forth. It doesn't feel good to me. But the fact is, I cannot expect a life where I'm not going to react emotionally or respond emotionally. Like, the only constant is change. If it's not them, it's going to be somebody else. It's going to be something else. It's even going to be me. Even when I'm by myself and I have a sudden realization of something and I feel some kind of way. It does not feel good to be jerked around emotionally. So it's important to feel your emotions and take your time before you start talking to people or interacting with people. Give yourself that moment to feel, because that's what I did this morning. I sat with my feelings. I sat there and I thought all of those things and I felt all that I felt, right? And in the middle of all of that, Jaden comes to me and he's like, "It's only 7 o'clock." I said, "Yeah, I woke you up early because there are some things you didn't do yesterday, and I'm giving you an opportunity right now." That's all I said. And then I let it go. I didn't expect him to just hop to it and start doing stuff. I didn't know whether he would or not. And I was still over there wallowing in my feelings of how I want to run away. I don't want to deal with this, right? Life with teenagers. And I sat there and then guess what? I was able to calm down and really like chill. I allowed myself to feel. I didn't judge myself. And I just sat there. And as I was sitting there, I started to notice that he was doing some of the things that he didn't get done yesterday. And I said, "Oh, he's taking the opportunity. Cool." I still wasn't 100% out of the energy, but I stopped snowballing. And I still sat there and I observed, but then I didn't get too far into that observation. I did not solidify that observation because I'm trying to get out of these expectations and these commitments and all of this and that, because I know, if I'm wise, I know that this afternoon I'm not going to get that same energy. You see what I mean? So in that moment, I was in the now and I was just like, okay, we good right now. Nobody has to have words and feel, be in their feelings. We don't need to compound on this. Even though you're tired of this repeating itself, you know, right now you're okay. And that's what matters. Right now you're seeing something that you need to see, and you're understanding something that you need to understand. And that's the part that matters. because we're constantly in flux. We're moving, we're creating, things are always changing, and there's moods, there's your moods, there's their moods, there's all of this, people's feelings and stuff. And you've got to navigate it by staying with yourself. All of these, the TVs, all of these distractions, they keep your energy out away from your physical body, they keep it far away. And you've got to keep your energy close in order to see what you need to see and understand what you need to understand, so you can stop taking things personally. Because it's too easy to see one thing that happens that's wrong, and then all the rest of the things that's wrong will start to show themselves. So if you sit with the energy, you breathe, maybe have a snack, do something that you love, do something that you enjoy, that brings you pleasure. If you sit for a moment, then what will happen is you'll stop seeing all of the things that are wrong, and you'll start seeing the harmony. You'll start seeing the correction, or whatever the case may be. This is why it's not good for us to be running around every day doing all of these things, because it makes it hard to see, it makes it hard to hear, and it makes it hard to even be aware of what you're feeling and why you're feeling it, if it belongs to you or if it belongs to an environment or other people. This is why they preach, meditate, meditate, meditate. But meditation doesn't always have to be you sitting still and not being productive. You can decide to seriously just focus on that one thing that you're doing, whether it be playing basketball or cleaning your house, and don't allow any other distractions. Just decide, I'm going to do this because this is going to bring me joy. It's going to expand my energy. It's going to bring me to myself. And I'm not going to allow anything else to come in. Hello, love. Because November is not going to have any mercy. There is no mercy. Okay? None. And we have to own up to the fact that whatever it is that we are experiencing is because of what we created. You've got to take responsibility for your creation in November. You don't have a choice. You can't be a deadbeat being. You got to claim your body, your mind, your emotions, your everything. You got to claim it. Yeah, that's mine. That hot mess is mine. I did that. We getting it right though. We working on it. Because you can't hide from yourself anymore. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna see yourself everywhere. The more you try to hide from it, the more everything and everybody is gonna just show you who you are and what you're really doing and what you've been doing. Because again, we become unaware because of all of these distractions. You're about to find out how you've been operating, what you've been creating, what energy you've been putting out there is coming at you like a freight train. So let's just hope it's not horrible, right? I mean, and even if it is horrible, work on a little bit at a time. Don't try to take everything on and make these huge swooping corrections, because quality over quantity. Okay, we want to build some solid foundations. I also had a vision. Was it a vision? Look, I don't even remember what I was doing. But I had a thought, and then spirit replied to that thought, and I was like, yo, for real? It was like, I think that I was literally just thinking about, fifth dimensional life. Like I was just in that manifestation mode, and I was in that creative energy, that expanded heart energy, and I was just having a moment, and I was just like, oh yeah, I can't wait, or I was just visualizing something. And it was like if somebody came and tapped on my shoulder and was like, the event is happening in November. And I'm like, what the hell? Where'd that come from? What? And I'm like, well, and I always take these things with a grain of salt. The event, the love wave, the flash, whatever, right? But that happened a couple of days ago. And then when you think about the dream I had, and you think about all the stuff that everybody else is saying right now, it's literally like illuminated path stones. What do you call those? Stepping stones. Like, I'm seeing something that I wasn't seeing before, and I'm like, what is about to happen in November? Like, that's what I'm left with. Like, something's about to happen, whether it's this or that, I don't know. But those messages and those moments told me that something profound is definitely happening in November, though. Just because I'm not sure which thing it is, and I'm not specific, doesn't mean that I don't feel it. And I'm not getting messages about it. I'm getting messages about something big happening in November. So y'all can do what y'all want with that, because I'm gonna always tell you to listen to yourself. But I know that I'm not the only one that's getting messages like that. Like, and I feel like there's a choice point in November as well. We have a choice all the time, but there's this huge choice point, and when we feel these huge choice points, it means a large group of people are making this choice together, even if they're not aware of it. So there's definitely a choice point coming up. It seems the way that they're showing me is that each day that passes in November, there's going to be this intensity increase. You may feel like you don't even want to be in your body, in your physical body at a certain point. Some of y'all may have a problem staying in your body if you naturally astral travel and stuff. Some of y'all may have issues sleeping because as soon as you lay down, your dang astral body wants to get up. I don't know what's happening, but you definitely, that's one thing that's coming up strong, is you're gonna feel like you don't even want to be in your body. It ain't even about not wanting to be on this planet anymore. This is, you're not gonna feel right in your physical body. That's interesting. Just sit with it. Don't let your brain get you all wrapped up. When you having those intense moments, just sit with it. Hydrate and breathe and just sit with it. Isolate yourself, do whatever you got to do. And just really feel your physical body and your whole being. And just sit with it. And then you will get your instructions on what you need to do next, or in order to deal with that energy. They say the great divide, but it's not division in the way of people just simply deciding. It's not a conscious division. It's a incompatibility. It's a, okay, like when magnets oppose each other type thing. It's not like you did it on purpose. It's just happening and you're kind of having to deal with it. Hmm. You're going to have to let yourself go. Like that ex-boyfriend, like that old job, like that old way of thinking. You now have to let yourself go. Ooh. Look, y'all, the way that that looks and feels. Woo. Oh man, my whole scalp just started crawling. Look. Oh wow. That it's literally the best way that I can explain it is like an exhale, and you never inhale again. uh Look, hey, I give y'all what I get. You just gotta let yourself go. This is definitely different than having a out of body experience. It's different than having a really deep meditation. This will be felt, it will be very real, and it's gonna be like if your soul just walked out of your body and didn't come back. Oh my gosh, really? And I know this video is long, forgive me, y'all. Wow. Okay, so what's walking, what's leaving the body is all that no longer serves you. You're gonna feel it. And this is why you're gonna have an issue. You're gonna feel weird in your body because I don't know what energy is gonna hit us, but it's gonna literally do like on Doctor Strange, how she, what did she do? She touched his forehead and then knocked him out of his body. So whatever doesn't serve you is gonna kind of, I guess, compile into like a hologram of your body, like an energetic shape, and it's just gonna walk right out. And after that happens, you're gonna feel different. They told me to mention the fog and the wind chimes. Okay, I was on a trip Friday. Was it Friday? And then Saturday, sometime right before the weekend, I had to go out of town real quick. But on my way back, I was hitting patches of fog. And for almost half an hour, I wasn't getting ringing in my ears like normal. I was literally hearing something that sounded like celestial wind chimes in some kind of song. And when it first started, I was just hearing it here and there. And it got stronger and stronger, and it had more of a melody like as time passed. And it did not start until I passed through the fog that I was in, and there was some patches where it was tough to see. So some of y'all may be hearing those celestial wind time. I call them like angel wind chimes, because it's like that bell that you hit when you want to clear energy before you meditate or whatever, but different tones, and they reverberate for a little different periods of time, and you just hear it, and it's not that deafening ear ringing thing. It's outside of you. You can hear it, but it's outside of you. That's going to happen more for people as well. The fog and those frequencies, it's like a song, though. It's not like just one frequency coming in one ear go in a certain direction. It's different than the ear ringing. We got some potent energies coming in November, y'all. Um, love to you in the now. Do what you feel like you need to do for yourself. Focus on yourself, your whole self, you. Okay, very important. You got to come home to yourself and pay attention to yourself more than you pay attention to anything else around you. It's very important. Yeah, love to you in the now. I'm gonna let y'all go. It's a long video. I didn't even realize it. But have a beautiful day, loves, and I will check back in with you soon.